Hey guys, welcome. So it is right at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to just give about 60 seconds or so for some people to hop on. If you're on with us already, feel free to say hello in the comments just to let us know you're here. While we're waiting, for those of you who don't know, my name is Susan Snow, the instructional design coach here at Bobby Summers, and I have the privilege of starting my 20th year in education and this awesome profession. And I've had lots of opportunities to do things from kindergarten to 5th grade, 6th grade, special education, and actually had some opportunities to do some teaching and learning things with teachers. And now I'm really excited just to be here with you today and to share with you some things that we've been learning about Classwork Zoom and how to keep our kids accountable online. All right, so it is about 1 minute after, so let's just hop right into this. So I wanted to share with you, there's my picture. I wanted to share with you this extension called Classwork Zoom, and it is an extension, but it has been already pushed out to everyone in the district, but I did want to take an opportunity to show you how to find it and how to pin it onto your bar up here for your extension. So up here is a little puzzle piece. When you click on that puzzle piece, the Classwork Zoom for Google Education or for Google will be right here in this list of extensions. If you click the little pin, it will pin it to the top of this bar for you so that you can find it really, really easily. Okay, so that's the first thing I just wanted to show you how to do. So I have some other extensions that are easily accessible up here as well. So if there's other things that you use a lot, you can pin those as well. I have Cami pinned and Loom as well, so I use those pretty regularly. Okay, so let's just jump in and talk about what Classwork Zoom is. So what it does is it builds a timeline for you to be able to see when your kids in Google Classroom have actually logged in and actually done some engagement. So this is going to help a lot when you're trying to figure out which kids virtually have shown up and engaged in their assignment when you're taking attendance. So I've talked to a few teachers that have used this and they just think it's really, really awesome and very helpful because it builds a timeline. It's all right there. And you can take a look at every one of your students that you have in your classroom, and it gives an actual amount of engagement so that you can just check, and see if they're there, which will help you take attendance. So let's just jump right in and let me show you how to build the timeline. One of the things I do want to point out is that the timeline that's built for Classwork Zoom is only going to build the timeline for assignments that have been created in docs, sheets, slides, or drawings. So it has to be a Google app that you're using for your assignment. So if you're having them going to Padlet or another website such as wiser.me or something like that, it's not necessarily going to build the timeline with that information there. So I did want you to understand that part. So when you click on your Classwork Zoom extension, it's going to open. And if you need help or you need another little tutorial, you can jump on that little video right there and it shows you really quickly how to use this. But this tool is very easy to use. There's only one page. It pops up just like this. There's drop-down menus and it's very simple. So when you click on classes, it's going to give you all the classes that you are a teacher of or a co-teacher of. And then you're just going to select the class that you want to build a timeline for. And it's going to populate the students. In this particular class, there's 90 students. You can choose the drop down. You can do all students, or you can uncheck all students and then do just a few. Just choose a few. I'm just going to choose a few because it may take a while for it to load. So the assignment also has a drop down, and it's going to give you all the assignments that are assigned to that classroom. So I'm just going to pick this one assignment on Monday from the first quarter. So after you have your classroom selected, you have your student selected that you want to look at, and your assignment chosen, you're just going to click this button that's called Build Timeline. And that's all you do. That's as hard as this gets. It's really very user-friendly and very easy to use. So now you can see that it's built a timeline for us, and our students are listed here. And what we really like about this, and what the teachers have shared that they like, is that immediately it shows over here like there's no work to show. Well, this student did not do the assignment at all. There's no work to actually show. And then it lists here, and then it gives us some more specific information about how long the student has worked on that assignment. So they opened it at approximately 1:47 and 18 seconds and closed it in about 1 second. And so the visual is really great too, because you can look and you can tell if it's a bigger block of time, they've given some more effort in there. The timeline, you can scroll over, and as you can see, this is for Wednesday, August 5th, and it's given us a really zoomed in timeline to where it's just by 10-minute increments, it looks like. Yeah, 120, 130, 140. This zoom area right here, you can actually zoom in and you can look at it more closely and get some more detail for that. You can also zoom it out, and you can look at maybe this little drop down. It will help you too. If you just wanted to look at the day, it will give you the day. You can also do the entire week. So it's going to zoom out for the week. So if you had assignments that you assigned on the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th, you should be able to see whether they had engagement on those days very, very quickly. You can do the full range, which would be the opening of that classroom to the end. Okay, so hopefully that's something that you're already looking at going, yay, I can put it in the week Zoom or the week view, and I can already see for the entire week on Friday who has engaged on every day online. Okay, so the very last bullet point is about showing, pasting, removed files, and formatting. In this timeline, there's a settings gear. If you click on that, it's going to give you some options to change from a 12-hour to a 24-hour. But you can also see it says indicate pasting or indicating formatting and suggestions. I wanted to show you this because I thought this was really neat. If I zoom back in, let's zoom back in so we can see this a little bit easier. I don't know if it's going to show up, but we'll see. So right here for this, it says right at the top where, oops, sorry, it says possibly pasted. And they say that they're going to estimate that they're about 60% certain that they had 47 characters that they pasted into this document. So that's going to give you a little more insight and accountability with your students, because you'll be able to see if they're just copying and pasting maybe some things that you put in maybe a Google slide for a note or something like that, that they're just copying and pasting from another place, or maybe even in a peer's paper or something like that. So that gives you some more accountability for your online learning. So if you like that setting, make sure you choose those in that settings wheel and push save. Okay, I was just checking the comments, make sure we didn't have any questions. Okay, so the additional resources, I did want to go ahead and show you a couple of things. On this, there is an article. I found that it said 7 ways to hold online students accountable. This has some really good ideas for you. Number 1, supportive atmosphere, and all of these have things that you can click on to look at some more resources. Number 2, they're suggesting to make the expectations really clear. They even provide you a little rubric to look at. And it just has some different things. So when you have time, take a look at this and click on all of these live links or these hyperlinks. And they really have some good ideas for you about holding online students accountable for their work. One of the things that the suggestions I liked in here, really liked having that learning plan for them, and that makes it really personalized too. Another idea I wanted to share with you really quickly as our time starts moving on. You can make a copy of this, but this is an example of one of our teachers here at Summers. She puts this in her stream so that her students, and I actually had a parent give me some really good feedback with this. She puts it in the stream and she lists all the assignments that they have that are actually due for grades. So these are the graded assignments, and it's just got a little list for them. She gives them the name of it, when it was assigned, when it was due, and also the slide that they can find it on, because we've had some feedback where some of the kids are just kind of getting lost in the slides and not knowing exactly which thing is due for a grade. So this has been really a big hit here at Summers, and I wanted to share that with you. She teaches ELAR, so she has English and reading. So I actually did have a parent say they wish that every teacher would do this for their student, because it just helps them know what grades they have when it's due. And they actually make a copy of it for the student, and they put little check boxes here so the student can do a digital checklist too. There's a couple of blogs here that have some Hyperdoc templates. I wanted to put the Hyperdoc templates in here for you as a resource, because the Classwork Zoom only is going to build a timeline if you create assignments in slides or docs. So if you need some templates, here's some template ideas. And I also included for you an example. So this Hyperdoc lesson sample, well, you can make a copy of it too if you click on that link. And this is just a little sample of how the Hyperdocs can be used. And this actually was used in a 7th grade history class here. And so they've got the date here. That was the name of their unit. And then there's a hyperlink for the due now right directly in there. There's the explore time where they give a little bit of instruction over here and some resources. Then this section over here tells the students what they're going to do. And then there's the explain piece, and then the task, and then also the reflection piece. So all of this is hyperlinked to where the students need to go to put their answers. And one thing I wanted to point out is here in the explain section, they just have to choose either using a graphic or using some thinking stems to explain cause and effects. But this task, if they write it on paper, all they have to do is take a picture of it and use this insert image right here, upload it from their computer or their Chromebook, and insert that picture for their evidence right there. So I did want to share that resource with you. I thought that was a great example of a Hyperdoc. Okay, so we have a couple of minutes. In this blog too, there was a digital checklist that I just wanted to show you. And that's really just trying to give you a resource to keep kids accountable online and give them something that can help them know what they're doing as well. So the checklist for the graded assignments is a good resource or a good idea so that the kids can keep up with what they're supposed to be turning in. And this also shows you, I really like this blog and this blogger, Control Alt Achieve. I believe his name is Eric Curtis, I believe. He has all these little cool videos, and it's going to show you very quickly and easily. You can watch this little sample video and know how to do that without reading a whole lot. So it just shows you how to make a digital checklist on a Google Doc. All right, let me check and make sure. Does anybody have any questions or anything that they might be wondering about? If you do, just pop it into the comments or the private chat. Okay. Whoops, I skipped through. Okay, so let's look at our bonus engagement strategy. It is basically just using a Google Jamboard or a whiteboard and using different colored stickies where they can compare and contrast. And I put a link there if you don't know how to get to Jamboard. And here are some of the upcoming Power Up learning sessions that you do not want to miss. Tomorrow is the 19th, and there's one on 1-point rubrics. So hop in and take a look at how to use rubrics and to also keep your virtual kids online accountable. Well, you guys, thank you so much for showing up. And those of you who have registered, I know some of your principals are really interested in knowing that you're learning some things. So let them know what you've learned.